that I could give you. Anybody that teaches you a different version of Islam than what your ancestors practiced, you should be very wary of it. And that doesn't mean that everything that they did, your ancestors did, was, you know, the best case thing or something. They were human. They might have had their faults and things like that. That's true. But we have a principle in Maliki fiqh that if people are practicing something and the dalil is weak and you have a stronger dalil, you should not try to impose that stronger dalil, because once it has become practice, to try to change the practice will create fitna. And so they actually saw that leaving people on what they were doing was better than trying to change it, even if it was better if in changing it you would create dissension amongst the people. The thing about religion, the essence of our religion is to bind our hearts to God and then to bind our hearts to each other. That's the purpose of religion. And so if religion severs your tie with God because of the harshness of people, you know, now there's people turning away from religion because of the way it's being practiced. If it severs your heart from God, it's not true religion. And if it severs your hearts from others, even non-Muslims, if it's doing that, it's not true religion. Our Prophet didn't teach us to hate people. He said, Dabba ilaykum da'al ummam. The diseases of the civilizations has come to you. Al-hasadu wal-baghda. Envy and hatred. That's the disease of competitiveness and the disease of civilizations that are in decay. And he said, it dabba ilaykum, it comes slowly. And so now that you can see these things starting to emerge in your society, Malaysia was never perfect. No society is. But it has a lot of blessings. People have been criticizing me for speaking so highly of Malaysia. They're like, brother, you don't know. You haven't been here. It's not like you think it is. I'm not stupid. I know that you have problems. Every country does. But my focus is to remind you, be grateful for what you have, for the blessings you have. Be thankful. Don't complain all the time, because once you start complaining, Allah will take those blessings away from you. Be grateful for what you have, and He will increase your blessings. Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma biqawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. Dhalika bi anna Allah lam yakun mughayyiran ni'matan an'ama ala qawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. Allah does not change blessings that He gave to a people until they change what's in themselves in regards to those blessings. In other words, they don't honor those blessings. So Malaysia, you have the blessing of family. Guard your families, protect your families, preserve you have the blessing of treating old people with respect. Guard that. You have the blessing of children that obey your parents to a large extent. Guard that, protect that. You have the blessing of a government. I don't care how bad your government is, and I'm sure it's got problems. Every government does. But if you go outside, you have infrastructure. It's the government that's providing your water in your homes. It's the government that's facilitating the roads that you drive on. It's the government that's policing your streets so that people aren't robbed and accosted. That government is a great blessing, just in and of itself, no matter how bad it is. My country is becoming increasingly like a tyrannical police state. It's still better than anarchy. It's still better than tyranny. There's a lot of problems in America, but those of us who live inside the country, we have to appreciate that there's social order. Once order breaks down, it's Syria. Ask the 5 million Syrian refugees what they think about the situation now. And if they could do it all over again, would they do it? Was it worth it? Was the Great Revolution worth it? Seriously, ask them. Ask the Libyans. What would they rather be under Gaddafi right now, or would they rather have the situation like it is? Ask the Iraqis if they'd like to have Saddam back, if it would bring order back to their society. The vast majority of them will tell you they would. So people have to be realistic. Things break down. Things fall apart. We have a global order right now that has incredible problems. There's a lot, and I am the first to criticize it. But let me tell you, in a world where the global order breaks down, you have neighbors with great power that don't have any qualms about coming and invading you because they've done it in the past. And if they want your natural resources, they'll come. Malaysia's not a strong military country. So when you have a society where it's the strong eat the weak, that's not a society that people that are weaker want to live in. We want social order. And that's why if you don't respect the weak in your society, the Orang Asli, the minorities here, if you don't respect them, then God won't respect you, and He'll send people here this is what He does. This is the sunnah of God in His creation. We get what we deserve. And so that's my advice. You have Chinese people that live here, they're Malaysian. They're part of Malaysia. They're not Muslim, but they're Malaysian people, and they've been successful. Sometimes people have resentment about that, but they work hard. They're hard workers. They're committed to education. You have to see the good in them. And you shouldn't become envious of them because they have success in the world. They have success because they work hard, and minorities have an advantage. An advantage of a minority is that they tend to work together a lot because they feel that that they're in a country where the majority of people are not like them, and so they work hard. That's why the Jewish community is so successful in America. But instead of envying them, you should see the virtues of being unified, of working together. Those are the things that you should learn from them,
Yes.
And then if they have earned what they have earned without hook or crook, then that's their prerogative in a state that is fair.
Sure. Today is your last day in Kuala Lumpur, am I right?
This is it, yeah.
Yes, and you're leaving first thing in the morning tomorrow.
Inshallah.
So to recap all your public lectures, remind us,
Yeah.
what is your final advice to Malaysian Sheikh?
My final advice to myself and to all of you, وَلَقَدْ وَصَّيْنَا الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ وَإِيَّاكُمْ أَنْ اتَّقُوا اللَّهَ. We have advised you and the people before you to be pious, to have taqwa. And taqwa is to obey the injunctions of God and to avoid the prohibitions of God. He hasn't prohibited very many things. And all the things that He prohibited are harmful for people, for ourselves and for others. And what He's enjoined, the Prophet said, to do what you're able to. Because there's a lot. But at least do the fard and try to build on that. And then I would say also just to have gratitude in your hearts. لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you're grateful, I'll increase you in blessings to be grateful for. But if you have kufr, if you have ingratitude, Allah tells us His punishment is immense. So, and then I would just say, as somebody, I know I've only been here for 2 weeks, but I've been here 3 times now. My experiences in Malaysia have been positive. Really, they've been very positive. I think the Malay people are beautiful people. Really, I'm not just saying this. I don't say this about everybody. I mean, generally, I find that people. I'm old enough, and I've been in so many places that generally people are actually decent. Human beings are. It's a decent species. We have a lot of flaws, but humans are actually, most people are good people. They're not bad people. And if they're treated with dignity, they tend to respond by treating you with respect. But if you step on them, if you crush them, if they get angry, you drop bombs on people, they get angry. This is a fact of life. But the Malay people have a lot of really beautiful qualities that I haven't seen in other people. And I think of all of them, the thing that really strikes me the most is the adab. And I really hope
Yes.
we're living in a time where just good manners are disappearing. The internet, it's the rudeness on the internet, the way people talk to each other.
Yes.
So I really hope that that you hold to that, adab. Because the Prophet said, "Adabni Rabbi fa ahsana ta'dibi." My Lord gave me adab, and what a beautiful adab He gave me. And He said, "Innama bu'ittu li utammima makarim al-akhlaq." I was only sent to complete noble character. So I really hope that, and I know that the worst thing in Malay is to have bi adab, so it's, and so that's it. And then also terima kasih, I
Terima kasih. Yes, welcome. Sama-sama. I have to apologize to you and our listeners. We cannot take calls from listeners as time doesn't permit us. We've come to the end of the show. But Inshallah, Shaykh Hamzah, we want to thank you, and we hope to see you back here in Malaysia in future, inshallah. And may Allah reward you greatly for all the knowledge shared, and may Allah bless you. Ameen. And similarly, please make dua for Malaysians always. Jazakallah khair. Thank you once again. If you ask me